Hi everybody, Th0m4s575 here, and welcome to another video game movie review. The video game movie I'm going to be reviewing this time is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Yeah, you weren't expecting a review for this movie to come out so soon, right? Well, I figured that I might as well get this review out of the way instead of just waiting long periods of time for the physical copy to release and rewatching it and all that. No, I might as well get this out of the way while my memory is still fresh, so that way y'all don't have to wait like weeks, if not months, for my review for a video game movie to finally release. And I've got some notes here explaining all the which scenes come in order from um, when I first watched the movie. So now you don't have to hear me struggle to remember which scenes came in which order and all that. No, no. I got all the scenes down, so I got all the scenes notes in order here. So yeah, of course I don't have like details written down. No, I just got quick notes for the scene, for important parts of the scene, so that I can remember clearly on which scene I'm talking about. And in case you haven't figured it out from the title already, I will be going in depth with this movie, so there will be spoilers ahead. Because I think I might have to go in depth with this review. So yeah, click away if you don't want to get spoiled. Okay, if you're still watching, then that means you've already seen the movie or you want to be spoiled. In any case, enough with the intro. Let's get right on to the review. Okay, so immediately with the opening, we see that the Comet Observatory, which is the starship in which Rosalina pilots in the Super Mario Brothers series, the Comet Observatory is flying in space when Rosalina calls the Star People out for a story. So everyone goes into the library, in which Rosalina is about to read off a story about Princess Toadstool's past. But then the Star People shift the focus by having her read off a story about the Mario Brothers, which she claims she has already read like several times. And immediately when she's about to read off the story about the Mario Brothers, she gets interrupted again, and in which the Star People say to skip over to the part with Donkey Kong in it. Now, I think that this is a bit of a meta joke, because the majority of the audience, I think, for the Super Mario Brothers movie universe's audience, I think the majority of them are kids, and knowing kids, they are a bit dumb. I don't know how to put this lightly, but they're not really smart enough. Kids aren't really smart enough to understand deep stories. So I guess the joke they were trying to make here is, all right, kids, you want mindless junk. You're getting mindless junk, and yeah, I think that's kind of the joke they were trying to make with the scene. With Rosalina being the representative for the movie companies, and then the Star People, of course, representing the kids, which I think they are voiced by actual kids. They might be voiced by adults just doing kid voices. I'm not sure which it is. If you guys know, then go ahead and put it, and then go ahead and comment below, because um, voice actors can have a serious range. But yeah, so immediately I don't. But here's the thing: I don't like this opening. Okay, so this opening scene for the. Okay, so right away I do have some concern. I do have some problems with this part, and it's that it looks like we were immediately gonna get we were gonna learn about Toadstool's past, but Toadstool's past is not like revealed until until nearly near until the pre-end of the movie. I don't know how else to word that. But I think y'all get what I'm talking about. The moment before the final the big climax happens, the pre-climax. Yeah, that's it. Um, and yeah, I guess it would, and yeah, probably it would be too early to introduce, but I guess by introducing, but I guess if you were to introduce Toadstool's past into this, not only would answer the question immediately, but I think it would have made more sense within the story's context, which I will get to in a minute. But right after right after the Star Children start talking about Donkey Kong and start reenacting and all that, a robot appears on the Comet Observatory to fight Rosalina. Well, not fight, but more capture her. So Rosalina fights the robot, and when she's about to overpower it, she ends up getting captured. Um, and the mastermind or the pilot behind the robot is none other than the villain for this movie, Bowser Jr. So okay, I like how this opening's okay, and then right before oh yeah, and then right before the robot is and right before a star person comes out and tries to attack Bowser Jr. only to get overpowered, and then all of them get sucked into this giant ship that is it gets sucked into Bowser Jr.'s ship, which is like this flying saucer thing. It takes the shape of a saucer. I don't know how else to. It takes the shape of a flying saucer. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I do like how this opening scene actually. I do like how this opening scene perfectly, it perfectly explains or perfectly showcases how these characters act. Like Rosalina is willing to do anything, or Rosalina is willing to protect her people and the existence of the universe by using magical powers, but she can also be a really caring person towards her subjects. And then also for Bowser Jr., he is, and for Bowser Jr. in this scene, he is a menacing strategist. Like he always thinks one step ahead because I'm not saying he's like the Koopa tactician. I don't know how smart he is in comparison to the Koopa tactician. But he is cunning. He always plans ahead, and he knew that the Star People would could serve as a weakness, and then he took that opportunity to get the upper hand, and that is how he won the fight. Oh yeah, and speaking of the Koopa tactician, in the opening scene, he is here. He is here. Okay, now technically, we don't know if this is supposed to be if this is supposed to be an entirely separate character, just given the exact same voice and mannerisms as the Koopa tactician from the previous movie, or if this is the same character. But I think it's the former because of the way he acts in because if you really think about it, compare how he acts from the Super Mario Brothers movie to the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and I think this is a different character. I think this is a different tactician Magic Koopa, uh, based on how he acts, there are more than one. There is more than one Magic Koopa. So, um, yeah, I think maybe Bowser Jr. just. I think maybe both Bowser and Bowser Jr. have their own tacticians. But if if that's true, then why doesn't Bowser Jr. have his own Koopa General? You know, where is the Koopa General, or where is his Koopa General if that's the case? If he has a different, if he has his own Koopa tactician, then where's his Koopa General? But yeah, so most of the opening scene I thought was good. Yeah, as I've said, the only parts I didn't like were the story interruptions and then the Koopa tactician. But yeah, but anyway, that is a damn near perfect sequence. Anyways, um on to the next scene, which I think started to go, and then I think this is where the movie started to truly go downhill. Um, so we see the Mario Brothers riding motorcycles out to this desert. Um, and we see that they are there in order to fix a broken pipe, as the citizens point to where the problem is at. Um, so have the Mario Brothers been able to ride motorcycles this whole time? Like we've seen them. I mean, we've seen Mario drive a van and a cart, but a motorcycle. I'm not speaking from experience because I do not know how to drive. Yeah, I know I'm a loser for not knowing how to drive. Don't blame me. By me not driving, I'm kind of saving the environment, Why not just walk everywhere? Anyway, I'm getting off track here. So, but yeah, driving a van and driving a motorcycle require different experiences because both have like different controls. They both drive differently. So, like, did Mario Brothers did they used to drive motorcycles when they were teenagers? Did they learn how to while they were in the Mushroom Kingdom? Did they just learn how to from instinct? Like, where did this come from? Anyways, so anyway, the desert citizens point um to this upside down to the upside down pyramid, which we see. um so the Mario Brothers enter and they find a gateway that is in there, which we have seen from the which if you've seen the footage, if you Yoshi first look, you would know that this is where Yoshi gets introduced. Which is, and yeah, the Mario Brothers move the rubble out of the way, and then they first get scared, but then they see that he is harmless, and right away, um, right away when I figured out that Yoshi would not be talking in this movie, I was I don't know why they decided to not make Yoshi talk for this movie. Because, I mean, literally the only thing he ever says is his name, but that's about it. He does not say, he either just keeps saying his name or he just says gibberish. He doesn't verbally say anything else. And yeah, this would probably save dubbing companies like a lot of times because they wouldn't have to dub over this character. Like that, I know this doing this would probably save a lot of time, but Yoshi can speak in the games. In fact, the game he debuted in, Super Mario World, Yoshi was able to speak. So, and it's not just Super Mario World. He continued to speak in Super Mario 64 and in Super Mario Galaxy 2. Although for Super Mario Galaxy 2 that's a different Yoshi, but I don't understand why they decided to not make Yoshi talk. Like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't line up for what's established in the game. And I'm not even done with Yoshi yet. Okay, so Yoshi proceeds to explain how he ended up in the Mushroom World. As we see, as we cut to not reused footage from the Super Mario Brothers movie, but rather he breaks out of the egg and then he wanders around Brooklyn, and we see a few familiar faces. We see Francis, the dog that tried to murder the Mario Brothers. But then Yoshi just immediately eats him up, and then I was like, okay, instant karma for what you did to the Mario Brothers, because because what Francis did in the previous movie was a bit of a dick move if you think about it. And then we also see Spike in the pizzeria place that, of course, we saw from the previous movie. And then we see that Donkey Kong is in Brooklyn being chased by the police. And when I saw Donkey Kong in Brooklyn, I was like, okay, so I'm guessing he decided to stay in Brooklyn after his father died. Because I'm guessing the Jungle Kingdom citizens. I'm guessing probably the Jungle Kingdom citizens don't want Donkey Kong to be back there, because they probably would assume that Donkey Kong killed his dad or something. But I guess Donkey Kong just decided to stay in Brooklyn. Like, I guess he likes the attention he got there. I mean, Donkey Kong barely did anything during the final fight in Brooklyn. Like, the only thing he actually does is just punch Bowser while in Brooklyn, and also save Toadstool and Toad from falling rubble. But other than that, Donkey Kong doesn't really contribute much to the final fight in Brooklyn. But I'm guessing the people liked him there or something. I don't know. He's only in the movie for like a brief second, and then that's it. Like, he's kind of he's kind of easy to miss if you don't have your eyes on the screen the entire time. While Yoshi is when Yoshi goes into a museum, he knocks over a skeleton. Which, if you had gotten that Yoshi egg set as part of the merch for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, then you would know that is something that then you would probably predict that it would be something that happens in the movie. Of course, from the set, it just shows that when the skeleton knocks over, then there would be another gateway pipe, but when Yoshi knocks over the skeleton, a gateway pipe is revealed, and you would expect from that set that's what would happen in the movie, right? Well, no. What happens in this movie instead is, after Yoshi knocks over the skeleton, he gets chased down by the police and is forced to hide in the sewers, and then just jumps into the gateway pipe, and then that's how he ended up in the Mushroom World. Of course, since Yoshi can't talk, the Mario Brothers will never know how he managed to get into the gateway pipe. Which is another problem, because without Yoshi speaking, you kind of have some communication problems. And yeah, and this is another problem which I will bring up in a second. So the Mario Brothers decide to take Yoshi along with them and drive back home. And so Yoshi in this movie, he is treated as more like a third Mario brother. And I don't mind, and this isn't something that I mind, but this isn't something that I mind too much. Like, I don't have a problem with Yoshi joining the Mario Brothers on this adventure. My problem is, let me rephrase that. My problem is how he's being treated like a third Mario brother, because in the game, Yoshi is the protector of Dinosaur Land. He is the one that is supposed to, um, keep evil off of the island. But in this movie, he not only does he not speak, but Dinosaur Land is completely absent in this continuity. Like, it is not seen anywhere. And that bugs me, because of this, they completely botch Yoshi's character for this movie. Because why? Because first you don't have him speak, and then all of a sudden now you decide that Dinosaur Land should not exist, and because of this. Because of this, this causes some major. This causes some restrictions for his character, because if he can't speak, he can't, express his emotions clearly. And if Dinosaur Land is absent, then he kind of has no home to go to. So now, because of this, Yoshi is just relegated to be a third Mario brother, which I don't mind if there's if there's gonna be another permanent member of the group. I feel like Toad would be a better third Mario brother than Yoshi. Even though Toad was supposed to be one of the 7 mushroom retainers serving Princess Toadstool, in this movie universe, he's kind of just this wandering traveler. Like, I don't think he's even an official mushroom retainer. I guess he could, but I guess in this continuity, he could multitask. He could not only just go up and check on Princess Toadstool once in a while, but he could also join the Mario Brothers on their adventures as a stand-in for Toadstool when she's not around. Yeah, I feel like Toad could have better as a third Mario brother. And I've got some things about Toad, so just keep watching. So the next scene we get is the ship that vacuumed everyone, that vacuumed Bowser Jr., that vacuumed the robot, Rosalina, and the star person, fly off to a planet that looks kind of like Bowser. Yeah, so the ship lands, and Bowser Jr. takes Rosalina and the star person into the interior of a giant weapon, where Bowser Jr. announces that the princess that he captured has the power to destroy the universe. Rosalina breaks out and then tells the star person to leave and sends him off before she gets restrained. Where Bowser Jr. announces that the great battle of his life draws near, and that the time will come when he will soon free his father. And more, and then so as you may have noticed, Rosalina they decide to make Rosalina a prisoner for this movie. Yeah, for all you Rosalina fans, Rosalina is just, captured. Even though Rosalina in the games has never been captured, like, not even once. So to me, this seems like, it seems like they don't know how to write female characters properly. And this is kind of something that's become this is something that has been falsely advertised by Universal Pictures, slightly, because the trailers are very easy to miss, because they're in the final trailer. You can see that Rosalina gets restrained by Bowser Jr., but for most of the advertising, it looked like Rosalina was going to be an important character in the story. Like, she would serve as like a guide, or maybe like a mysterious ally. But no, instead she's resorted to being a prisoner, which I like. Yeah, so yeah, if you don't have as much experience in in watching every Universal Pictures video game movie like I have, then you would know that there are some things that tend to get falsely advertised. So I was expecting that certain aspects of the movie that have been shown off would be falsely advertised, and one of my hunches was that Rosalina would get falsely advertised, or that Rosalina, could possibly get falsely advertised. Of course, I've never said it in my videos, but because I was really hoping I'd be wrong. But unfortunately, my hunch is right. Rosalina did get falsely advertised. So yeah, with the star person sent off, Rosalina is just now a prisoner. Anyway, cutting back to the Mario Brothers, the group prepares to go to Princess Toadstool's birthday party, and and Mario wonders if Toadstool would like the present he got her. But then Luigi, and then this is something that is a bit out of character for both Luigi and Yoshi. Luigi and Yoshi misinterpret this question as Mario having romantic feelings for Toadstool. And Mario's reaction and response is kind of what my thoughts were, my immediate thoughts when he said that. Like, what kind of feelings, like what Luigi says is, do you have feelings for the princess? And then what Mario says is what? And then that was my immediate thought reaction. And then so Mario corrects Luigi, saying that he just wants to get a perfect present for this person that he cares deeply about, and he doesn't mean it in a romantic way. And this is something right here that is in character for Mario, as the Mario Brothers are not into, as the Mario Brothers are not our character, because the Mario Brothers have never seen any interest in romance, because they see it as nothing but a distraction. So when Mario corrects Luigi about this, the next thing I was expecting Mario to say is that, don't you remember that we don't don't you remember that we find romance as nothing but a distraction? Why are you asking this kind of question? And yeah, you were expecting what I just said right there to be what happens next, right? And then probably what would happen after is that Luigi would say something like, "Oh yeah, that's right." But no, instead Mario doesn't say anything else after that perfect gift remark. And what happens after that remark is that Luigi and Yoshi start to mock Mario by singing to him about him having um they start to mock sing him, which I do not know what the hell they were singing. Um because I remember what they said very clearly, because that is one of the things that I legit cringed at. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna sing the lyrics that because I don't know how to sing, but I will say what they said off. So, what Luigi says is, "When the mood hits your eye like a big piece of pie, that's," and then Yoshi follows up by saying Yayoshi. And then Mario just immediately assumes that and then Mario's immediate reaction is that he does not have he claims that he doesn't have romantic feelings for Toadstool, but then Luigi and Yoshi continue to mock him by doing more weird facial expressions. So after that, they decide to leave and go to the party. Yeah, so I like how I like how the Mario Brothers. I like how the scene handled Mario in which he wants to be really nice to his friend, but you know, the moment that Luigi and Yoshi start mocking Mario because they misinterpret this as Mario having romantic feelings for Toadstool is super out of character for him, because not only for Luigi but for Yoshi too, because Yoshi is the protector of Dinosaur Land, so he also does not have time for romance. So 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 which lust driver over at Nintendo and or Illumination thought that having this scene was a good idea? Because clearly they did not know what they were thinking when they wrote the scene. Okay. All right. Next up, the group arrives at the party and run into Toad, who has also attended as well. So Toad meets Yoshi and wonders if he's getting replaced. And this is another missed opportunity right here, because we could have had a bit of a rivalry between like Toad and Yoshi, in which Toad would wonder if he is getting replaced by this dinosaur that he just met. Because if you remember from the previous movie, Mario was hesitant because if you remember from the previous movie, Toad immediately calls Mario his best friend, and Mario gets weirded out by this. But the moment a speechless dinosaur comes along, Mario immediately accepts him as as a part of the group. So yeah, so big missed opportunity right there. And then of course they basically go nowhere with this. Okay, Mario looks for Toadstool and finds her on the roof of Mushroom Castle, where Toadstool explains that she hates birthdays, which I can relate to as well. I hate birthdays as well. So Mario tells Toad. So then Mario proceeds to tell Toadstool about Luigi's 10th birthday, and that he spent it crying since he claimed his childhood was over, which doesn't really make any sense. Like I think because I think maybe when a character I think maybe the proper I think probably when someone is not a child anymore, I think is when they turn 13 years old, because that is when they become a teenager. In other words, a bit of a young adult in a way. But yeah, of course, this is a bit out of character for Luigi, because Luigi is supposed to be like a smart like a bit of a smart character. He's more willing to think about things, but here it's just like, that is super out of character for him to do that. Unless Mario was making up that fact about Luigi, and it's like, okay, Mario, real dick move. Okay, so and then Toadstool proceeds to explain something that I think a lot of us probably figured out already. So it's not really so it's not really Toadstool's birthday, but rather the anniversary of when the Mushroom People found her and took her in. And to this day, still wonders who her real family is, as she feels lost without them. So to make Toadstool feel better, he gives her the present he got for her, which is an umbrella, which Toadstool immediately likes. Okay, so let me ask you this: who would actually like an umbrella? Let me ask you this: who in their right mind would actually like an umbrella as a present? Okay, tell me someone that you know that likes umbrellas as presents, because I don't think anyone in the entire world would accept an umbrella as a present. Okay. So a bunch of comets fly above the Mushroom Kingdom until one of them crashes into the fields. The citizens go out and investigate and find the star person that Rosalina sent out, who instantly passes out. So Toadstool takes the star person to Mushroom Castle, in which the star person wakes up and tells Toadstool that their leader knows about her, and if anything were to happen to her, to find Toadstool and she'd help. So the star person pleads Toadstool to help, but then the mushroom retainers burst in and tell her not to go. So Mario tells them they'll discuss it in the morning. So Toadstool thinks for a bit, and then she decides to help them out and tells Toad to pack his things as she writes a letter before the star person transforms into a launch star, which takes them out into space. Okay, so something I haven't mentioned for a while is throughout the movie so far, Toadstool has been called nothing but Peach, which bothers me because when I saw Rosalina call Toadstool Peach, I was a bit skeptical. Like, maybe there's a reason behind. Maybe she heard about this name from Toadstool, from Bowser, and then for the star person, probably also heard it from Rosalina. But then for Mario to say it, that's kind of what got me thinking. Well, when Mario said it, that got me thinking. So, I will go further about this fact later. So, okay. So the morning arrives, and as Toadstool leaves Mario a note saying that she left to help the star person, that she left to help the star person, and that the Mushroom Kingdom is in his hands, which Luigi also misinterprets this as romantic feelings, which just pissed me off. The Mushroom People then panic as the Mushroom Kingdom is doomed without Toadstool. Then Mario says everything will be fine as the Mario Brothers will take care of it for her. So the Mario Brothers, along with Yoshi, help the citizens, help the citizens with their daily lives, which they find out is way harder than it looks. Which at that point, another emergency pops up on the map. So the next scene we get is Bowser painting, which we saw in the first trailer for this movie. So he finishes up his painting in his Prism home until the Mario Brothers arrive. Bowser comes up and shows him one of his paintings, which Luigi likes, while Mario hates. Bowser gets angry, but then calms down and asks them to release him. But Mario says, Mario doesn't want to happen because he does not trust Bowser, even though he's mostly reformed now. Now Bowser, now a lot of people have been a bit skeptical about this version of Bowser here because I've seen a lot of comments for the first trailer for this movie about this scene in particular, that Bowser was faking being reformed, and that when he got to normal, he would just go back to being evil again. And I am one of the few people that actually believed he was reformed in this continuity. And at first, I thought this was a bad thing, but then as I thought about it more, I thought this would actually be legit a good thing, because this would give more of an opportunity for more villains from the games to come into the mix. But of course, as I've mentioned before, Bowser hasn't completely changed, as he still retains his quote-unquote romantic feelings for Toadstool and his hatred towards Mario. So when Mario says no, this just makes Bowser angry again, and then he says he'll sleep now as he slams his tail in the door. And yeah, he slams his tail in the door, he gets hurt, and he's still small. So, if he wants to get back to normal, and he hurt himself there, but apparently that wasn't what got him back to normal size. And this isn't the only bullshit non-damage. This isn't the only instance where he gets hurt and doesn't turn back to normal, which I will get to later. So Bowser Jr.'s ship arrives and cuts Mushroom Castle out of the ground and takes it up into space. Bowser Jr. arrives and tells the Mario Brothers to release his father, which prompts him. But of course, the Mario Brothers says. But of course, Mario says he won't. But of course, Mario says he won't, and that he'll only be able to get his way over his dead body. So this prompts Bowser Jr. to use his Wonder Brush, which, Wonder Brush, I've called his tool the Wonder Brush, because, it turns his thoughts into reality. Why not? So Bowser Jr. turns into his Wonder form, and Luigi is kind of a bit nervous in this moment, as he doesn't know who this person is, or who this guy is. So he introduces himself, thinking that he can come to a peaceful negotiation, which leads Bowser Jr. to introduce himself as Bowser Jr. and says that he'll be taking his father now. So after some fighting, the robot arrives piloted by Bowser Jr.'s Koopa tactician, who Yoshi instantly eats up. And then Bowser Jr. jumps up and makes Yoshi crash the robot into the ship, which makes Mushroom Castle fall onto a nearby planet. So the thing about Yoshi killing the Koopa tactician by eating him, when I saw that, so this was shown off in an ad, but and when I saw that happen, I thought that would be the last of the Koopa tactician we would see, but no, he breaks out of the egg somehow. Like, how is he still alive after literally getting eaten? Francis got eaten and he's kind of dead now, but yet the Koopa tactician's just able to break out. Like, how does this work? Okay, so after Mushroom Castle crashes, Bowser is outside and runs out for his freedom, but Mario instantly catches him. So getting mad at his freedom being denied, Bowser attacks Mario, which prompts Yoshi to eat him until Mario tells Yoshi to spit Bowser out. So, yeah, this is another instance on where Bowser gets hurt, and yet he's still the same size. And before I bring up the fact that Yoshi does not have any teeth, I noticed in a few scenes that Yoshi is shown to have teeth. So, like, off and on a whole lot. It happens off and on a lot. So I'm like, okay, how is Bowser still normal after slamming his tail on the door and literally almost getting eaten by a dinosaur? Like, what is the law of damage in the mushroom world? Like, seriously, what counts as damage and what doesn't? And you're probably gonna get mad about what's about to happen next. So you're about to get mad about what happens in the next instance on where Bowser gets hurt. So Bowser tells everyone to forgive his actions for what just happened, but Mario mentions on how his son literally tried to kill everyone, making Bowser emotional since he hasn't seen Bowser Jr. in years. So now Bowser is accepted into the group, much by Mario's hesitance towards this. So yeah, now they find a way off the planet that they crashed on. Okay, Toadstool and Toad arrive at a station called... So Toadstool and Toad arrive at a station, which is the Gateway Galaxy, which I forgot to mention was said in Toadstool's letter. But yeah, Toadstool does mention that that in that letter that she is going to the Gateway Galaxy. Actually, speaking of the letter, I forgot to mention. I'll just mention this real quick. She never addresses Mario by his name. She just addresses She never addresses either Mario Brothers by their names, but rather she addresses the Mario Brothers as just Mustache, and singular, not plural, mind you. So she could be referring to either Mario or Luigi, but of course Luigi just immediately assumes it's addressed for Mario. Like, was Mario's name written on the envelope or something? Like, I don't get it. Anyway, back to my main point. So they arrive at the Gateway Galaxy, and then they see a missing poster for Rosalina, which makes Toadstool faintly remember something about Rosalina before she was sent to the Mushroom World. And then in that scene, we see Rosalina hanging on to Rosalina and Toadstool hanging on to each other as kids before Toadstool is sent through the gateway pipe, which Toadstool, she clearly stated that she doesn't remember anything. She clearly states that she doesn't remember anything about herself before getting sent to the Mushroom World. And all of a sudden, she gets a faint remembrance of her past, and she doesn't tell Toad about what she just remembered. Instead, what happens next is that a monkey named Ukiki comes up and steals Toad's pack using his cuteness, which Toad says he just used his cuteness for crime. Which, okay, is kind of a dumb line, but, this wouldn't be the first time that a character uses this isn't the first time that a trope that this trope has been used, mind you. This has happened on a few other instances in other video game movies. Which prompts the duo to chase after him, in which they end up in Underground City, which I'm guessing is supposed to be Subcon, which I will get to in a moment. Okay, Bowser. Bowser Jr. searches for Bowser using a radar while the Koopa tactician cries, and this is one of the few instances where I think that the Koopa tactician from the previous movie and this one are different characters, because we've never seen the Koopa tactician from the previous movie cry. We've never seen him get emotional. Instead, he seems more of in this movie, he seems more of a suck up more than a loyal servant. Which I think is another hint that these two are completely different characters. So Bowser. Meanwhile in the Honey Hop Galaxy, Bowser Jr. searches for Bowser. Bowser talks to Mario about disappointing Bowser Jr. by being small and asks him to undo the effect of the blue mushroom, which Mario denies. Then the group proceeds to stress out Mario, which ends up making Mario grab Bowser and slam him into the ground. And the slamming is, and this is the other instance on where Bowser gets hurt, and he does not seem to revert back to normal. No, what reverts him back to normal is it happens instantly afterward. is after getting slammed onto the floor, Mario proceeds to stomp Bowser, and that is the moment in which he reverts him back to his normal self. Seriously, he had to get stomped in order to revert back to normal. You're telling me that getting his tail slammed in a miniature door, almost getting eaten by a dinosaur, and getting slammed into the ground, none of that is what managed to get him back to normal. Him getting stomped is what is the action that is the thing that gets him back to normal. Like, what the hell were these people thinking? Like, were they thinking clearly when they wrote this movie? Clearly not, considering there's a lot of inconsistent rules within this movie. Right, so then when it looks like Mario is about to attack Bowser, he instead thanks Mario using a bit of a suggestive action which almost burned my eyes. Yeah, it's probably a good thing that it's probably a good thing that the movie is not out digitally or physically yet, because because otherwise people would probably be freaking out about that moment and posting it on the internet. And the shippers of the shippers are going crazy, are probably going to go crazy with this movie. Mark my words. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so suggestive action. If you've watched the movie, I'm not going to say what it is because I do not want to risk ruining this for you. Anyway, so they see a cat. So the group sees a castle on a hill, and so they proceed to go there. Back with Toadstool and Toad, they continue chasing Ukiki until they arrive at the Subcon casino and encounter Wart, who Ukiki works for. Now, Wart in this movie, they wrote Wart to be more of a mob boss than an actual villain. Like, even his voice sounds, even Wart's voice sounds comedic. Like, I didn't like Wart's voice in this movie at all. Like, he needed to have a more serious and grounded voice, not just generically funny. Like, why does nearly every character in this movie need to have a silly voice? Like, this is not a kids movie. This is a rated PG movie. A kids movie would be a G-rated movie. But no, this is a PG-rated movie. This is not a kids movie. Let's get that clear. PG-rated movies are not kids movies. I've talked about this before, so Wart makes a remark about princesses getting captured, making Toadstool think he knows something about Rosalina, to which Wart says he knows nothing about her. Toadstool threatens Wart to tell her where Rosalina is, making his henchmen Claw Grip, Mauser, and Ostro act against Toadstool, and which Toadstool beats up instantly. Now, do you notice something off about what I just said there? Okay, do you need some hints? Okay, I'll tell you. It's two specific characters that are not in this movie, or in this scene, actually, or in the entire movie, really. They're not in this movie at all. You give up? Have you figured it out? I'm talking about Fry Guy and Tri-Clyde, the two commanders that are the closest to Wart. They are completely absent in this movie, and yet the commanders that have less connections to Wart, they are present in this movie. How is it that they managed to have Claw Grip, Mauser, and Ostro all in this movie, but yet the two commanders that have closest ties to Wart don't appear in this movie at all? Like, does that make any sense to you? Like, sir, right? I even made a short about this, like, before the movie released. I was like, I find it odd that Fry Guy and Triclyde, we haven't seen them yet. And yeah, because they're not in this movie at all. And Wart's commanders, they're not really commanders in this movie. As I've said, they're treated more like henchmen. Like they're just beings that just happen to work for Wart. So yeah, after his henchmen get beat up, Wart summons a pack of ninjas to kill Toadstool, but Toadstool and Toad beat them up all flawlessly. Then Wart gets up to fight Toadstool himself, but Toadstool kicks a vegetable into Wart's mouth and interrogates him. Of course, the vegetable shoving into his mouth is a direct reference to the game. But, the moment where I thought we would actually get a serious Wart moment, they immediately go around and overturn it with comedy. That is something that this is a point that this movie suffers from. They immediately try to turn serious points of the story into comedic moments. And yeah, I did not laugh once for this movie. Not a single time. There was not a single moment in this movie that I found funny. Nothing at all. Nothing. Okay, so Wart tells Toadstool that Bowser Jr. So Wart confesses and tells Toadstool that Wart finally gives in and tells Toadstool that Bowser Jr. is the one who captured Rosalina, and that he's at the Space Junk Galaxy. Okay, why the Space Junk Galaxy out of all of the galaxies they could have picked from Super Mario Galaxy or Super Mario Galaxy 2? Like, why the Space Junk Galaxy? Like, they couldn't pick like the Slimy Spring Galaxy or something? Like, come on, why the... they couldn't pick something more ominous than that. Why the Space Junk Galaxy? Yeah, because anyway, so yeah, Toad gets his pack back and leaves with Toadstool, making Wart order Ostro to get him in contact with Bowser Jr. So has Wart been working for Bowser Jr. this whole time? This is never explored properly. Like, how is he in cahoots with Bowser Jr.? Like, how did Wart ever get associated with Bowser Jr.? Right? Like, how is he even affiliated with him? This is another thing that is never explained. And yeah, okay, what next? Oh yeah, okay. So the group arrives at the castle, and Mario tells the guards there that they need help getting off the planet, and they need to arrive. And so then the guards say that everyone but Bowser can go inside because they clearly see Bowser as a threat. So once inside, Mario tries to tell the Queen of the Honey Hop Galaxy that they need help, but the Queen says that they're to be imprisoned and banished to the honey mines for destroying the flower fields. And when I saw this moment, I was like, okay, bitch, did you not see the giant spaceship that literally dropped Mushroom Castle into your fields? Did you not see that? Like, I mean, come on. You didn't even ask your citizens their accounts. Like, come on, really? The Honey Hop Village leader in this movie feels a bit like they made her to be a bit of a jerk in this continuity. And she's only in this movie for like about 3 minutes. I'm not kidding. That's literally the most time she's even on screen. So Mario tries to tell the Queen of the Honey Hop Galaxy that they need. Oh, right. So yeah. Anyway, Bowser bursts in and sacrifices his freedom for the freedom of the others, so that they can get to the Gateway Galaxy. And this moment right here is where I think Bowser's rehabilitation really shined through. He really has changed. He truly has changed. And everyone who doubted me by saying that, Bowser Jr. really hasn't changed. Well, y'all need to take back your words now, because I was right. Bowser is reformed in this movie. Well, I say, well, for this part of the movie anyway, because I'll get to I'll get to that soon. But next, okay, afterward, the Mario Brothers, they get on a bug. They get on a giant bug and ride off to where the Gateway Galaxy is, after the Honey Hop village leader says that orders them to bring orders for the bug to take them to the Gateway Galaxy. So after Bowser is banished to the Honey Mines, Bowser remembers Toadstool turning against him after some Honey Hop village citizens remind him if he has anyone back home. But it's not until he's suddenly rescued by Bowser Jr. And is taken onto his ship. Bowser reunites with Bowser Jr. and is impressed by everything he's made, until he remembers that Bowser Jr. is supposed to be in boarding school. And Bowser Jr. says he got expelled, then Bowser Jr. says that he got expelled from boarding school, which... Okay, that is way too simple of a plot line. They just settled for the easy cop-out. They just settled for an easy cop-out. Like, seriously, they couldn't just say that Bowser Jr. was in prison or something, and so he had to... And then once he heard the... I think what could have been a better reason for this story was that Bowser Jr. could have been in prison, and that once he heard the news that his father has been captured by the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom, he would break out of prison in order to rescue his father, in order to fulfill his father's ambitions and to rescue him. Yeah, doesn't that sound better? Wouldn't that have been a better reason? Like, come on, you guys are making this movie way too. You guys are making this movie like way too simple. This movie has way too basic of a storyline. Like, they barely do anything with certain parts of it. Like why? Why did they have to settle with the... Do schools even exist in this continuity? Like, we've never seen any schools. Like, come on. Anyway, so Bowser Jr. says that they're about to become the most powerful beings in the universe and reminds Bowser about their old plan. So then we get a flashback where Bowser tells a story to Bowser Jr. about how he liked conquering lands, but everywhere he and his son went was boring, and so they decided to make their own planet called Planet Bowser. And at the top of the planet was a cannon called the Boomsday Weapon, which is taken from Super Mario Galaxy 2, but instead, which is made by Bowser Jr., but it's a bit different. Where it's a bit of a more of a giant tank rather than a cannon. And instead of it being called the Boomsday Weapon, it's called the Boomsday Machine. But anyway, the Boomsday Machine has the power to destroy the universe, and in order to fuel it, they needed the most powerful princess in the universe, that being Rosalina. And once they drained her power to fuel it, they would destroy everyone who hated them until they danced on the ashes of the universe and reigned supreme. And honestly, this feels a bit petty for a backstory for Bowser and Bowser Jr., because they say that they liked conquering different lands, but then they decide to just make their own. Like, I mean, I feel like what could have been a better backstory for these two is that they wanted to find a place they called home, but they were rejected literally everywhere they went because of of their of their intimidating stature, their intimidating nature. So then that's what prompted that and then so I think that would prompted them to build their own planet and the Boomsday weapon. I think that would have made a better backstory than this. Like, really, just really. Anyway, Bowser Jr. made their plan a reality until the Koopa tactician comes along and tells them about a problem about a problem as Wart is as Wart is on the line. So back with Toadstool and Toad, they bust out from the underground city, that being Subcon, and ask a robot named Rob at the information booth about where to find a pilot. Rob moves his body incredibly slow and points to the flight deck's location. And yeah, the Rob moving slow joke and the Rob's body moving slow joke, I did not like. That was a joke where that's another joke that I legit just found cringe. Like, I don't know what made them decide to make that joke. But I mean, like, really, this. Why is it that why is it that you want to add as much comedy as possible? The Super Mario Brothers is not known for comedy. The Super Mario Brothers series is not known for comedy. It is known for, adventure, seriousness, risks, all of that. And of course, friendship. But, comedy is not one of them. Oh, and also romance is not something that the Super Mario Brothers series is about. But anyway, after Rob points to where the flight deck is, the duo arrive and meet a pilot from another world named Fox McCloud, the leader of the Star Fox team who got sent to this universe after his ship's warp drive exploded. So before anyone says it, yes, I know this character is part of another game series, but here's the thing: I don't like Fox McCloud in this movie. I do not like him. I don't like this character at all. Like, I do think because it's not, and no, before you say it, it's not because he is from another game series. Because, this isn't the first time that they've had another game series in this movie, referenced in this movie universe. Because we've had Donkey Kong in the previous movie, and Donkey Kong is from another game series, and yet everyone was totally fine with him, so, why not get another character from another game series into the mix? But what bothers me about Fox is that what bothers me about Fox McCloud is that he is just he seems he kind of almost does nothing in this movie. And I don't have a problem with his backstory about how he wants to protect what was it called, the Lilat system, I think it was called. I don't have a problem with that. Like, another protector of the universe. I don't mind that. But my problem with him is that after he is sent into the Mushroom World, he serves kind of no purpose. Like, he's sort of just there. And I don't really understand why people like him in this movie when when mostly what he does is just nothing. Like, literally almost nothing. Anyway, so Fox McCloud asks how desperate they think the duo think he is for money. So Toad shows him the money and he accepts the job. So yeah, we have so yeah, he is also greedy as well. Of course, okay, maybe not greedy, but maybe he does need money in order for his ship to work, or in order to afford his ship working or something. I don't know. Okay, so so while they are closing in on the Gateway Galaxy, while they're still flying on the giant bug, Luigi and Yoshi further misinterpret Mario having romantic feelings for Toadstool, and this makes Mario start to doubt his feelings, which annoys me. Because, as I've said before, the Mario Brothers are not those who have any interest in romance. And it's like, all of a sudden they want the Mario Brothers to have interest in romance? Like, how does this relate to this? How is this helping the story? Like, legitimately, this does not help the story at all. All it's doing is making the story more cringe. By adding romance into the mix, it can just go nowhere. We don't need this. I came here to have a compelling story, not just some slop where this character is driven by lust. Like, come on. I don't need to see this. And this is even more out of character. This is still out of character for all of the characters, because now Mario is acting out of character as well, because now he's doubting whether or not romance should be important or not, because now he's asking if a princess would ever go out with him, and granted, this wouldn't be the first time. This wouldn't be the first time. And granted, Luigi and Yoshi aren't the first individuals to misinterpret Mario's actions as romantic. This wouldn't be the first time. Luigi and Yoshi aren't the first ones to misinterpret Mario's actions as romantic intentions as romantic. As Donkey Kong in the previous movie also misinterprets this as well, and then I guess Toad. I don't know. I'm not so sure about. No. Toad also misinterprets this as well, because he tries to defend that Mario could form a romantic bond with a princess, but as I've said, romance is not something that is a part of the Super Mario Brothers. Like, come on. This isn't what defines the Mario Brothers. So why are they so insistent on making the Mario Brothers lust drivers? Like, come on. All right. So when Luigi suggests Mario to ask Mario about this, he then proceeds to ask Mario to ask Toadstool if she has a friend for him, which doesn't make sense, because because Luigi already has friends. Like, he has Mario, of course. I don't know if you would. Well, yeah, he has Mario, he has Toad, and now he has Yoshi. If he's talking about a female friend, like, doesn't he already have Toadstool? Doesn't Toadstool count as a female friend? Like, why does he suddenly, like, does he want more friends? Like, if that's the case, like, if that was a part of Luigi's character, that he's scared of feeling alone and that he wants as much friends as possible, I guess I could see that, but this is the only instance on where this is ever brought up. This fact is never brought up again. And it's like, it looked like they were going somewhere. It looked like they could have built off of that, where Luigi wants to have a female friend in his life instead of just having male friends. But they don't go anywhere with this. Okay, so the group arrives at the Gateway Galaxy and encounter Rob, and as you could imagine, more slow body moving shenanigans. Then they reunite with Toadstool and Toad, and then we get an awkward situation where Mario wants to get a handshake, but Toadstool wants a hug, which to be fair, this is um uh this is a callback this is a callback to the to what happened earlier when Bowser when Mario wants to shake Bowser's hand, but Bowser comes in and hugs the group, which Bowser says to Luigi to take care of Mario for him. So yeah, I do like that. That was that Mario wanting a handshake was a neat callback, but at the same time, like, they just decided to make the scene super awkward. Because when you encounter like, you usually don't hug them, right? You just shake their hand. And so for Bowser, he was insistent on a hug, but then for Toadstool, it's like she was hesitant on hugging Mario. And why did Toads? I'm guessing I'm guessing Toadstool was relieved to see Mario because she wanted more help, but it's just this scene. It's like, oh my god, oh my gosh, like. All right. So the group meet Fox McCloud and board his ship and then take off to the Space Junk Galaxy, but not before Bowser Jr.'s ship arrives and starts firing at them. So Fox McCloud starts firing at the ship's weapons. So Bowser Jr. is forced to grab a weapon to kill them, but Bowser says he doesn't want to kill them since he's kind of friends with them. So Bowser Jr. uses a different weapon that turns the Mario Brothers into kids. And because of this, the Kid Mario Brothers cause the ship to crash onto a nearby planet, making Bowser feel sad. And oh my god, what is with all of the crashing onto planets? Like, really? Like, you couldn't just like, this is the second time this has happened. Like, why are you so insistent on having the Mario Brothers crash on the nearby planets? Like, it couldn't just be they travel to different planets. Like, come on, really? They have to crash onto them, like, okay. This next moment right here is a bit of a filler segment. So after the ship crashes, Fox McCloud attempts to fix it, but anything he tries backfires. So the Mario Brothers wander off. So Toad and Yoshi get them back, so Toad and Yoshi get them back, but not after the Kid Brothers to proceed to piss off a dinosaur, which chases them. And along the way, Toad is also turned into a kid for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know, just why. So then after the dinosaur is also turned into a kid by the weapon, Yoshi uses it to transform the Mario Brothers and Toad back to their normal selves. So then they all get back to the ship, where we see Princess Toadstool is frustrated. Where we see Fox McCloud depressed and Princess Toadstool frustrated. And when Mario points out Toadstool's frustration, Toadstool remarks that princesses don't get frustrated for some reason, which is not true because there have been because I know of a few princess characters that are known to get frustrated. Like, is this Nintendo and Illumination's way of saying that, no, we don't want Toadstool to have any problems, so we gotta make this a moment where she isn't frustrated, that she's just nothing but flawless. Like, why are they so insistent on making Toadstool this way? Like, come on, guys. Seriously, why do you have to further botch Toadstool's character? Like, you can't show her having signs of weakness? Like, come on. And this is even more. This gets worsened as Mario joins in on Toadstool's not frustration. Right, so Luigi finds a communicator and contacts the star people on the Comet Observatory, in which the star people are currently role-playing a bit, which, okay, we didn't need to see. So back with Bowser, Bowser wonders about the other safety. So Bowser Jr. And this is a moment where a sudden shift happens. Bowser Jr. reminds Bowser that that friends are dangerous and only exist to betray, but family is forever. And this is what prompts Bowser to go back to being evil, because after Bowser Jr. points out that his friends betrayed him, because, he got someone to start shooting at their ship, he just suddenly just goes back to being evil. Like, it's not even just a moment of, he doesn't even get like a moment of reflection. He just suddenly shifts back and now he's evil again. And, this is another wasted character. This is another wasted moment right here. Like, they built up Bowser being reformed, and then all of that is just ruined because Bowser Jr. just comes along and says that, you are nothing but evil. You are family. This is not who you are. And, I think, and this was another missed opportunity, because they could have had it to where Bowser could try fighting against Bowser Jr. or something, because, we don't want the same villain recycled again, right? Because for the majority of this movie, Bowser Jr. is the one who was the main villain, and not Bowser. But I guess because they were so insistent on having Bowser be the final, be the one for the final showdown, be there for the final showdown, I guess they just wanted him to be evil again. Like, I mean, seriously, they could have had it to where Bowser tries to convince Bowser Jr. that maybe this isn't the right way to go, which could lead to Bowser Jr. Imprisoning Bowser. So when the time came for the Mario Brothers to see him in prison, they could have seen that Bowser could have explained that he didn't want this to happen. He wanted this before, but he doesn't want it anymore, and that it's Bowser Jr. and that it's his son who's insistent on having this plan become reality. So again, another wasted opportunity right there. So, like, it's like they didn't know what to do. It's like they didn't know what to do with It's like they didn't know what to. It's like they didn't know what they were. It's like they immediately forgot what they were writing Bowser as. Like, they didn't know what the hell they were supposed to do with this movie. Anyway, so. Back group, back with our main party, the Comet Observatory lands near them, so the group boards it and takes off, as a star person says they'll arrive at the space junk galaxy soon. So Toadstool finds a book and turns it to a section that's about her past. And this is, a callback to the this is an instant callback to the beginning of the movie where Rosalina was gonna read about Toadstool's past, but then got interrupted for some reason. So yeah, this is what Toadstool's past in this movie universe is. Many years ago, while Toadstool was still a kid, she lived on a small planet with Rosalina, who is actually her sister, who were both made from stardust. And when they were together, they had the magical ability to use the power of the cosmos to create plants and plants, creatures, life itself, basically. But when unseen evil forces wanted the power, Rosalina sent Toadstool to the Mushroom World, where the Mushroom people protected her until she was ready to protect herself. And okay, I don't. Okay, so I'm one of those people that didn't mind that Toadstool and Rosalina are siblings in this continuity. But what bothers me about this is that if you've read the storybook in Super Mario Galaxy, you would know that Rosalina has, parents and a brother, and that they all died one day, and that she was the last of her kind. I feel like what could have made their backstory better was that, and then also in this, Rosalina sent Toadstool off, and Rosalina, she never thought, if she knew where Toadstool was this entire time, because Rosalina knew that it was in the Mushroom Kingdom. If she wanted to see Toadstool again, then why didn't she just fly off after her? That doesn't make any sense, right? Anyway, I feel like what could have been better was that if they actually incorporated Rosalina, the rest of Rosalina's family, they could still have it to where Rosalina and Toadstool are siblings, but have it to where the rest of Rosalina's family are also incorporated into the story. And we don't need to see what they look like. We could have just had them. We could have just had them as silhouettes, and then one day they mysteriously disappeared. Like, they say that they were gonna leave and that they'd come back soon, but they never returned. Toadstool was the only person that was left in Rosalina's life. And then when they harnessed the power to when they used the cosmic power to create life on the planet they were living on, um, when the when some villains came along and wanted to harness their power, Rosalina knew they had to be separated, and so one day she decided to send off a Toadstool into. So then Rosalina sent off a Toadstool to through a gateway pipe in which she didn't know on where it sent her. And we could have had it to where that could have been the key point of the story, where Rosalina wouldn't know. It could have been a lot better where when Rosalina first narrates the story, she doesn't know where Toadstool is currently. And what could have worked out better is that if she sent off the star person to try and look for her, and so the star person, just literally searched everywhere until he finally crash landed into the Mushroom Kingdom, and sees the resemblance to Rosalina's younger sister. But no, we don't get any of that. And you want to know what the worst part is? And you want to know what's even worse about this? This could have been a terrific opportunity for them to actually incorporate the name Toadstool into this continuity. They could have made it to where, because here's the thing. During that flashback sequence, we don't see Rosalina or Toadstool speak at all. So when Rosalina sends Toadstool off into the Mushroom World, Toadstool doesn't appear to know how to speak yet. So her real name could have been Peach, but because Toadstool didn't know how to speak at that point, the mushroom people decided to name her Toadstool, and so she could have been called Toadstool throughout this whole movie universe. And the reason on why Bowser calls Toadstool Peach is because it could have been not only because he thought it up, but because one he it could have been either the reason it could have been for why Bowser called Toadstool Peach is because he heard it from that star person and who he captured in the previous movie. So it's like there was so much missed opportunities with Toadstool's origins. And while I'm glad I got that answer to where Toadstool came from, and which by the way, this movie does confirm that Toadstool is not a human. So all of you shippers out there shipping Toadstool with either of the Mario brothers need to stop right now, because this is another interspecies situation. They are completely different species. You cannot deny it, as Toadstool is a stardust humanoid. So you can't deny this. You saw the movie for yourself. For those who have seen the movie, if you're watching this for the spoilers, then I guess you wouldn't know. But yeah. Yeah, this movie confirms that Toadstool's not a human, okay? So stop. Stop with the shipping. Now. Okay, so Bowser Jr. Okay, so next we see that Bowser Jr.'s ship arrives on planet Bowser, as Bowser Jr. shows Bowser the hope he has created for them. As Bowser Jr. shows Bowser the hope that he has created for the both of them. Then Bowser Jr. shows Bowser the Boomsday weapon and the captured Rosalina. Bowser announces his true return to evil as the Boomsday machine prepares to destroy the universe by draining Rosalina's Stardust energy. Now, okay, so another missed opportunity they could have had here was that if the Boomsday weapon couldn't work properly, because in the previous scene we saw that the power of the cosmos could not work, would not fully work without both of the princesses. So without both of the royals. So it's like this was another missed chance. Like it could have been that the machine couldn't fully function without the both of them. And so this could have been an opportunity for Bowser Jr. to send his forces out to capture Toadstool. Either that, or they could have made it to where both of them were tasked. They could have made it to where both of the Bowsers were tasked with capturing a different royal, because they knew that the power wouldn't be complete without them. Because Bowser would have been responsible for capturing Toadstool, while Bowser Jr. would have been responsible for capturing Rosalina. And the capturing of Toadstool could have been what led into this movie, but no. Instead, we got none of that. More missed opportunities. Either of those scenarios, it could have worked out. What were the writers thinking for when they wrote this movie? Like, why does it only take one of them in order for the Boomsday weapon to power up? Like, why can't it be both of them? Okay, now it's time for a bit of a rant here. Okay, so during the climax of the movie, I just wow. Okay, so the Comet Observatory arrives near the planet and begins to destroy airships. And once the group is close enough, they jump out and land on planet Bowser. Now, my immediate problem with the scene is that while Fox McCloud still needs to pilot the Comet Observatory, Toad decides to stay behind with him. And why doesn't Toad just go with the group? Like, why does Toad need to stay behind and pilot the Comet Observatory along with Fox McCloud? Like, why can't he just go with the group? Like, what is it with Toad being shoved off to the side the whole lot? Like, it's like, why is it, like, seriously, you could do so much with Toad. He can help out. He could help Mario out during the final fight. And it's not like Toad isn't able to use power-ups either, because we saw him use we saw him transform into a penguin. So it's like, come on, really? Right. So another problem that I have with this moment is that the group decides to split up to cover more of the planet. And the group consists of Mario and Toadstool going going in one group, and the other to the Boomsday Weapon. And while Luigi and Yoshi go as another group to find an area full of power-ups. Now, my problem with this is that why don't they just go all together? Like, why do they need to split up? You know, if they needed to split up, then they could have gotten separated by an explosion or something. You know, and then that would have been more, but no, they decided to just, you know, it's better to stick together, because if you stick together, then it would decrease your chances of getting caught. Like, they weren't thinking clearly with this moment. So I mean, really, like, why? And, you know, and as I said, they could have gotten caught, and that's exactly what happens in this next moment, because Mario and Toadstool get spotted, so Bowser Jr. activates a trap and sends them into a chamber of torture. But Mario and Toadstool break through as Bowser Jr. watches it all on an 8-bit screen. Like, seriously, there is nothing. They really are insistent on making Toadstool this flawless character. Like, there is not a single moment in which Toadstool is in danger. And even when she is in danger, she is still given a cop out so she can save herself. Like, seriously, what is it with Universal Pictures and not knowing how to write female characters properly? Like, we've had enough movies on where enough female characters have suffered through this. Like, come on, why do you need to further make these characters suffer through these intentions? Like, come on, really? So after that, Bowser comes out to face them, now filled with nothing but rage against them. As Bowser makes some immediate callbacks to the previous movie, where he is humiliated where he got humiliated at his wedding, and that he was shrunken down to a small size and put inside of a jar, which, you know, which did happen in the previous movie. So, you know, neat callbacks to that, but then when the duo jumps over Bowser, Bowser, they cut the bridge and make Bowser fall to his death. Oh yeah, and Bowser also shoots a fireball, not fire in a straight line, a fireball. Thank you. Finally, he does something correct. But yeah, Bowser just dies. Yeah, he freaking dies. And, you know, Bowser Jr. comes out and mourns over Bowser's death. And, you know, this would have been this moment right here, this would have been a perfect opportunity for Bowser Jr. to actually, this would have been a perfect opportunity for Bowser Jr. to actually honor his family's name and, you know, take over the universe in remembrance of his father. But no, we don't get any of that. Instead, what happens next is that Bowser re-emerges as a skeleton. Yeah, as a skeleton. And how he re-emerges is also a neat callback to the previous movie. So I do like that, but seriously, he's a skeleton. A skeleton. Like, how is he alive? How is Bowser still alive? You know, he got submerged in lava. He should be dead. Sorry. Like, it would have made more sense if Bowser Jr. used his Wonder Brush in order to bring Bowser out, and then the effects of the Wonder Brush could have reanimated him, but no, instead just Bowser is just now a skeleton now, and then says he is the king of bones. Like, really? Like, why? Why does okay, so Mario and Toadstool run from the Bowsers until Mario shuts the gate and breaks the switch, separating them since he wants Toadstool to save Rosalina. So Toadstool arrives to where Rosalina is and reaches her prison. And then we cut back to Mario, who is struggling to fight the Bowsers until Luigi and Yoshi appear with power-ups and use them to fight. And yeah, power-ups. Yeah, remember those? Yeah, we don't really get much power-up action in this movie than in the previous one. Like, literally, the only power-ups we see them ever use are are the Mario Brothers using the fire flowers at the beginning of the at the moment where we actually first see them. The second instance being where Toad transforms into a penguin and Toadstool using a magic mushroom to get bigger, and then finally for this moment, where the Mario Brothers and Yoshi use power-ups. And I also do like the fact that they do actually bring power up that Yoshi does use from Super Mario Galaxy 2 in this movie, but why did they pick the blimp fruit out of all things? Like, they couldn't pick the dash pepper or the bulbberry? Like seriously, they just used the blimp fruit as like for comedy. Like, why is it seriously? Every serious moment needs to have comedy. Like, no, it's like they want every serious moment to have comedy. Like, no, it doesn't. This is supposed to be the climax. This is supposed to be serious. It's not supposed to be a funny moment. And this is what the movie suffers from the most. And this is something that the movie suffers from the most. Taking serious moments and trying to overturn it with comedy, which, again, I didn't laugh at because this is supposed to be a serious moment. Ugh. Right, so, okay, so, and despite their efforts, everyone ends up losing their power-up states, but they manage to get Bowser Jr.'s Wonder Brush. And so Luigi tries to draw something to help them fight, but ends up drawing a flat figure that moves one frame at a time to fight Bowser. Which Luigi says that he's never been good at art. Yeah, another moment trying to overturn with another serious moment getting overturned by comedy. And yeah, this somehow ends up working. Bowser's skeleton gets shattered. So Bowser Jr. gets pissed and gets back the Wonder Brush and uses it to create a giant dragon, which instantly turns against Bowser Jr. Yeah, that just happens. So because Mario still feels there's still some good inside of Bowser, he grabs another power-up to save Bowser Jr., this, of course, being the Red Star, which is a power-up from Super Mario Galaxy. But what aren't Red Stars created through the powers of the Red Star of the Red Lumas? Like, how is there one here? Like, does this even make any sense? How is there a Red Star here? So, yeah, after that, Toadstool is still struggling to free Rosalina, but then remembers they can harness the power of the cosmos when they're together, so Toadstool calls out to Rosalina and completely transform the planet into from an artificial planet to a natural planet. After that, Toadstool and Rosalina reunite while Bowser Jr. goes around to collect remains of Bowser. Toadstool tells Mario that Rosalina is her sister, making the Mario Brothers proud that they found each other. And hey, guess Luigi found himself a female friend after all, right? The female friend, of course, I'm referring to is Rosalina, because, yeah. Anyways, Toad and Fox McCloud arrive with the Star People, who instantly reunite with Rosalina. The Star People want to see Mushroom Castle, only to see that it's gone when they arrive. Which of course it got destroyed when Bowser Jr. invaded the Mushroom World. So Mario proposes that they rebuild it, which everyone agrees to do in a 16-bit segment. Now, when I saw this, I felt like this moment right here should have been the ending credits, where everything is now peaceful, you know. But no, the credits that we get is still similar to that of the previous movie. But yeah, but anyway, I'm not finished yet. So once the castle is finished, Mario flies up. Toadstool thanks Mario with once again using that same suggestive action that Bowser did, which again is another callback. But Mario gets. But anyway, Mario powers up and becomes Caped Mario and sticks the flag on the top of the new Mushroom Castle. And in a mid-credit scene, and we're not done yet, as we've got mid-credit and post-credit scenes. In a mid-credit scene, Fox's warp drive is fixed, and he goes back to his universe, while the Bowsers get tortured in prison by the insane Starlight creature, who now works as a guard there. In which I do like this, and which I do like on how this moment does. I do like how this moment does switch around the. I do like how this moment is a callback to the previous movie, but except this time the roles are reversed. But why do we need to see the insane Starlight creature again? Isn't he supposed to be dead? Now, granted, this may just be, like with the Koopa Tactician, this may just be another character just given almost the exact same voice and mannerisms as the Insane Starlight Creature. And I say almost because the Insane Starlight Creature in this movie sounds slightly different. I noticed he sounded slightly different. And also the fact that Bowser refers to the Insane Starlight Creature as a girl rather than a guy makes me think that this is also a different character. So yeah, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, but of course, this is a character who I don't know the voice actors for. So yeah, and finally, in the post credit scene, Ukiki is still up to his stealing shenanigans until he's stopped by Princess Daisy, and that is how the Super Mario Galaxy movie ends. Like, oh my gosh. So yeah, my overall thoughts on this movie: it definitely needed more time. It definitely needed more time to be worked on. That's for sure. Too much comedy in this movie. Lots of missed potential and lots of unfaithfulness to the source material and lots of out of character moments, especially with the misinterpretations of romance, which we don't need. As I've said before, we don't need romance. And of course, Yoshi not speaking is also another thing that I have a problem with. And then we don't. Why do we need? And then we don't really need Fox McCloud in this movie. Like, why he's kind of here for just almost literally no reason. And then Princess Daisy. Oh my gosh, Princess Daisy. All right. So this is a bit of an unpopular opinion. Whether or not you agree with me on this, I don't like Princess Daisy because she seems like a bit of a bad Toadstool knockoff. Like, Mario already saved Mario, because the Mario Brothers already saved a princess. So why does Mario need to save another one? And it's like when she came back in Super Mario Brothers Wonder, I'm like, why is she here? She already served her purpose. Like, why is she here? Why is she here now? Um, like they couldn't just tease the next villain for another potential for the next potential movie. Like they couldn't tease Tatanga or Wario from either of the Super Mario Land games, from either Super Mario Land or Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins. Like they couldn't tease the next villain. They had to tease a character that I genuinely hate. But anyways, yeah. So Okay, so I give this movie. Okay, so I give this movie a. Okay, so I gave the Super Mario Brothers movie a 3 out of 10. So I give the Super Mario Galaxy movie, this movie, I mean, a 2 out of 10 because there is a lot. While there were a few memorable moments that I do like, and while this movie is mostly just most of this movie is just genuine shit. Okay, I don't really see why. I don't see how people are liking these movies. Like the previous movie is ever so slightly better than this movie. Like ever so slightly. This movie is just it is worse by such a small amount. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, that's going to be it for this review. That's going to be it for my review of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Tell me what your thoughts are of this movie down in the comments below. And of course, like this video if you liked hearing my review for this movie. Share this video with others that you know and say that, hey, this guy made an early review for this movie instead of just waiting weeks, if not months, for video game movie reviews. And of course, subscribe if you want to see future video game movie reviews like this one. And yeah. With that said, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.